Begin our canine presentation. This year, the City of Prospect Heights approved the purchase, acquisition, and training of a canine. It's the first time for Prospect Heights. So I'd like to thank Mayor Helmer and Alderman Williamson's here. So thank you for your leadership and allowing us to move in this direction. I think you'll be pleased with it. I'd like to welcome a couple former mayors here and former commissioners and current commissioners. Currently, we have our Commissioner Jerry Meyer, who's the chairman of our Fire Police Commission with us. The street behind the police station is named Wolf Court, so you know who that is named after. Scott Williamson, our alderman, is with us tonight. Thank you, Scott. So, it's a big commitment to take a canine, a working animal into your house. So thank you, Kristen and kids, for entertaining a co-worker and a friend in your house. So thank you for that. And with that, I know you come here and listen to me talk. So this is Alex from Tops in Graves Lake. They're world-renowned dog trainers, dog handlers. If you go to YouTube, maybe he'll tell you something about it. He has a standard poodle, I believe it is. Is it and you really should take a look on YouTube and see what this poodle can do. So without saying anything else, Sharon. We have another Fire Police Commissioner, Sharon Hoffman. Thank you, Sharon, for being with us. Thank you. Alex.
Okay, good evening. Everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Okay, my name is Alex Raffer from Cops County. We're going to talk a little bit about canine first, so everyone understands what our new officer here is. What we do when we purchase a dog. First thing they always ask, why do you use German Shepherd versus other breeds? Well, we can use German Shepherd to get handle heat, get handle cold, and at the same time, also that they're good protection dog, also for your family dog. So we're looking for more so than anything, we're looking for a good family dog. This dog not only is a work tool, but he's also part of the family. We pay anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 for an untrained dog. Everyone says, why do you get an untrained dog? We have our own method of training, and we want the dog to carry through. If we buy a dog that's trained somewhere else, and we teach them, I think we'd be very confused. So we get a dog that's untrained, and we purchase a dog. They're in between a year and a half old. We always start with a very young dog because we want the dog to take on a personality of the handler. If you get a 3-year-old dog, and the 3-year-old dog is, let's say, when it rains and thunders, gets a little bit edgy. That's something we cannot fix. And a year-old dog we can fix when it has a problem like that. So we purchase a very young dog, and we bring it over, and majority of our dogs are from Germany or they're German bred. Everyone says, why is that? The German lines are working lines. If you look at this dog's great-great-grandfather and great-great-great-grandmother, they're working dogs. They're either a Schutzen dog, a IPO dog. They are bred to work. You have levels of work. This dog, as you'll see, seems very calm and relaxed. He's a very, very outgoing dog, as you'll see when we start going. So we purchase a dog, we pre-train the dog. Tonight you're going to see a demonstration in the protection work. You'll see a demonstration in narcotics work and the obedience. This dog is cross-trained in many things. He is trained in building searches, area searches, tracking, all different things. Things that we have to pre-train before the handler comes in. So what we do, we purchase a dog, we pre-train him in all these exercises we're talking about. We get the dog where he's half trained, and that takes 2 to 3 months. After that 2 or 3 months, Then the dog meets the handler. The first day, now you can understand why we're looking for a dog for a good temperament. You know, if a dog fails in police work, there's only two things it usually fails for. It's too aggressive, or it doesn't have a play drive. And everyone says, why is the play drive so important? Play drive is what makes this dog want to work. When he finds drugs, why does he find drugs? Because he has a reward. When he finds a missing person or a child that walked off in the woods, why does he do this? Because he knows he gets his reward. So the play drive is one of the most important things. And if a dog does not have play drive, usually they fail for that. Why is a dog going to look for narcotics in a 110-degree house for an hour and a half? For one reason, because he knows when he finds the narcotics or he does a good job, he gets his toy, and it's worth it to him. So that's why the play drive is so important. So we purchased a dog, we pre-trained a dog. The first day the dog meets his handler, he goes home and becomes part of the family. So all these dogs are chosen for their temperament. They're chosen that they are outgoing dogs, non-aggressive dogs, but once they meet their family, become social with their family, the handler goes through an 8-week course. During that 8-week course, they work 400 to 450 hours. The first 3 weeks of the 8-week course, no protection work is done with the dog at all. He does not know he is going to be a big, tough police dog. He doesn't know what it is to be aggressive. Then after that 3 weeks, we start teaching the dog to be protective of the handler. Then the dog has a completely different demeanor. But also at home, he knows home is tranquility. At home, nothing happens. I get to relax. He's a normal watchdog like anyone else. When the doorbell rings, he barks. But he doesn't know, he doesn't take the police home work with him. These dogs are capable of jumping up 8-foot ladders. They're capable of going through tunnels that are just 2 inches smaller than them, they can squeeze through. The dogs are taught that they're great and they're good at everything they do. So our job is to on-go this. After the 8-week course, this dog goes through training, the handler goes through training. Training is always kept up. And everyone says, why? Just like a tennis player. If you have a tennis player that plays 5 days a week and plays against somebody who plays 2 days a week, there is no challenge there. That person who plays 5 days a week is much more superior. Same thing with a dog. It's an ongoing training. He can tell us, oh, I searched a truck and I had trouble searching the other bed of the trailer. Then we work that in training. And training is also where all the handlers get together and he gets to converse with other handlers that have been doing this for 25 years. If he has any questions about the canine handler, he can ask him, what did you do? He says, well, I've done that. This is what I've done the last 15 years. It's worked every time. So it's an ongoing training. And the training can consist of the handler. He can broaden his horizons. He can become a cadaver dog. We maintain like 70 canine dogs right now. And out of that 70 canine dogs, probably 1/8 of them are all cadaver dogs. You know, so it's an ongoing thing. But we're going to show you tonight, we're going to show you the obedience, the narcotics, and the protection work. What is the most important and the hardest thing for a dog to do, so you understand, narcotics, they're looking for a smell. Article search is someone tosses a gun in the woods, and they need it for identification that this matches this, our bad guy here. That's an article search, he's looking for scent. Tracking is where they are constantly on scent. So we're going to have our young guy in the red shirt, we're going to call him Bruce. Bruce is at a party, everyone had a big picnic, and Bruce wanders off in the woods and he gets lost. And everyone's getting worried, 2 hours go by, no one can find Bruce. How do you utilize a dog? Bruce was wearing his red coat there, what is that, a hat? Yeah, he's wearing a Santa hat, and he left that in the car. As he handled that Santa hat, he left his scent on that. When Bruce walks off, everyone understands this, you actually drop little skin particles off their body. They're called rafts. They're little pieces of skin that fall from your body to the ground. Everyone has their own smelling rafts. How does Bruce get found by this dog? First thing we do, we would ask, is there any article of Bruce? Well, he has his hat in the car. So then the handler would tell, can we please use that hat? They cannot pick it up with their hands. They have to pick it up with actually a pair of rubber gloves or utensil, and they bring it over and place it on the ground. This dog now would come up to that article and smell it. Let's say Bruce was seen last, 2 hours ago, he was seen by the oak tree over there. They'll place that hat 100 feet away from that oak tree. The dog will come up and smell the hat, and then all of a sudden he'll lie down. That tells the dog or it tells the handler that his dog now has that scent in his brain. Then he'll direct the dog forward, and the dog will go over all 300 people, 400 people that are around, and when he matches the smell on the ground with the hat, he lies down again. And everybody says, well, this is a police dog, a big bad police dog. You have your bike collar, your harness. When this dog is looking for someone who's non-dangerous, he actually wears a harness, and this collar is not put on him. When this collar is put on this dog, it tells the dog there may be trouble happening. This dog may have to be very aggressive. So when he's looking for Bruce who's non-aggressive, this collar does not go on. So when this dog finds Bruce and we're sure he's okay and everything's okay, the dog sees his favorite thing, which he'll show you. It's in his pocket right here. This is his toy. The dog loves the toy. He will do anything for that toy. And this is how it works. When this dog finds Bruce, and let's say he went through the woods for 1.5 miles, which would be approximately an hour searching, when he finds Bruce, the dog is given that toy and he plays all the way back. Not 10 minutes, not 5 minutes. If it's an hour or 10 minutes playing back, he plays all the way back. Then it is worth it to the dog when this dog is asked to look for, again, a missing person, an elderly person. He is all ready because he knows he gets his reward, which is the toy. So the biggest part of the team is working together. When this dog does his job, he gets his toy. When this dog does his job in narcotics, he receives his toy. Everyone thinks the dog is hooked on the drugs. They're not. They're hooked on the toys. We'll show in the demonstration. So we're going to start with the most important thing, which is obedience. Okay, everyone says, why is that so important? This dog has to be under control at all times. It's one of the most important things. Again, what does the dog work for? He works for praise from his handler. Can you overpraise a dog when he's doing good? No. How long can you work a dog? If you praise a dog, you work him all day long. That's all this dog loves is praise. So when he walks forward with his dog, the second he walks forward, he praises his dog. The second the dog sits, he praises. When he downs, he praises him. The dog looks forward to work. So we're going to have the handler walk forward now. He'll walk forward, he makes the dog heel, and he talks to the dog, praises and pats on the head. The dog, and then he says, about turn, and he stops and makes him sit. Does about turn, stops and makes him sit, and he praises the dog. Everyone says, do we socialize the dog? When this dog is working, he is not socialized for one reason. At the end of this demonstration, we let everyone pat him, and the next time he's going out looking for narcotics in a house, and they have people making noise, what this dog going to want to do? He's going to want to be patted. So the only time this dog is socialized is at his house. When he's working, no one handles the dog. Why? The dog has to pay complete attention to him. The dog could be searching on 83, searching a car for narcotics. There's no time for this dog to not pay attention. Cars are going by. He has to be completely in tune to the handler. So when this dog is working, no one handles the dog at all. No one pats the dog. I mean, you can take pictures with him, you can do that, but he's not socialized. At his house, it's a complete different story. He should be just like any other dog. Again, you don't socialize him with the plumber, but when people come over that he knows, family members, the dog is allowed to be by the people and be free. The dog is not socialized with strangers, so-called, just for the reason of we want this dog also to be a protection dog at home for his wife and family. Now he'll walk forward, make the dog heel. He'll stop and make the dog sit. Go right to his side. Now he'll tell the dog stay. He'll take a step to his right. And he tells the dog to heel. The dog comes right to his side. If he tells the dog stay, he takes a step backward. He tells the dog to heel. The dog comes right to his side. The dog is trained on the left side of his body for one reason. He has his weapon on his right side. The dog is trained on the opposite side of the gun. The dog is also trained, if he hears gunfire, to do one thing, and that's lie down. Why is that? If he's looking for a bad guy in the woods, all of a sudden bad guy sees him, takes him a shot. First thing handler does is get out of cover. The dog is trained to do so too. The dog would always only be used in an incident where this dog's life could save another person's life. The dog would be used. He has a bulletproof vest that he can wear just like our officer wears, and that goes on him if the person is handled. You have to remember these dogs are not used in a situation where someone is barricaded in a house. What can the dog do against that? But the dog would be used in a barricaded house where they have a SWAT team go in and they come to a room and they have 3 doors and the doors are closed, then they can send the dog in there for that reason. That dog will smell the 3 doors and he'll start digging on the door where the person is. Then they can pull the dog off. Now the team is ready for something to happen. That's how the dogs are using SWAT teams. Now he'll walk forward with the dog, make him heel. He'll do an about turn and he praises the dog, pats him on the head. And you can see that dog looks at him, food is not used, he just praises him. Good boy, Dad, up boy. Does another about turn. And he uses the dog's name and tells him to sit. Boom. And now he tells the dog to stay, walks the end of the leash and faces away from the dog. Tells the dog to heel, watch where the dog will go. And sit, nice job. Now, even if he stands on the wrong side of the dog facing the same way, he'll stand on the other side of the dog facing the same way. And watch what happens when he tells the dog to heel. The dog goes instantly back to his side that he should be on. Now he'll walk forward with the dog, make him heel. And he praises the dog, that boy, about turn. This time he'll down the dog while he's walking. Faces the dog, praises him, walks around and goes back to his side. This time he'll walk forward with the dog, make him heel. He'll do another about turn. This time he'll leave him on a sit while he's walking. Praises the dog. Now it's very important that this dog responds to hand signals, but this is how you teach a hand signal. Right now he'll use his voice and hand signal and down the dog. And he praises the dog for doing a good job. Now he'll use his voice and hand signal and raise the dog. You use your voice and hand signal and make the dog sit. Now he'll walk around the dog, go back to his side. Now he takes the leash off the dog. Hand signal is used when there's danger. If he's looking for someone in a building or a wooded area, he does not want to be talking to his dog because he doesn't want his awareness to be known, then a hand signal will be used. Now he'll walk forward with the dog, make him heel. He'll do an about turn. Now he'll stop and make him sit. This time he'll stand 8 feet away from the dog, tell him stay, and you use a hand signal only and lower the dog. Then he goes up and praises the dog for doing a good job. Then he'll walk forward with the dog, make him heel. He'll do another about turn. This time he'll down the dog, stop and down the dog. Now he'll walk 10 feet away and face the dog. Now he'll use a hand signal and raise the dog. And now we're going to count to 3. You're going to watch how he rewards his dog with a job. He'll stand 10 feet away, and I'll count to 3, and you guys watch how he rewards the dog with his toy. 1, 2, 3. Attaboy. Let's have a big hand for the canine. This dog will do an actual search here. So you understand, once they put drugs in the ceiling, scent drops to the ground. If we would have, let's say, 30 pounds of marijuana in that can up there, the scent would accumulate on the ground. This dog would smell the ground, and he'd work his way up. If they put drugs in the back of the toilet, or in the toilet, tape it underneath, the dog in water comes to the surface. So you can see here, we're going to show you how we made this dog think the toy is everywhere. I'm going to put pseudo drugs underneath that door so you understand how a dog thinks. This is like if they come in to do a school. If you can understand, when they're doing a high school, they'll pull a 12 canine dog. Within half an hour, with 500 cars, 32 lockers, 32,000 cars, 3,200 lockers. The dog is looking for his toy. We're going to show you how we make this dog think the toy is everywhere. After I put pseudo drugs underneath that, he's going to do a search. When the dog comes there, he's going to start digging and scratching. I will take the toy from his back pocket. He's going to reach underneath that door. He's going to act like he's getting something out. He's going to hold nothing up. On the count of 3, when I say 3, he will throw nothing down. I will throw the toy down. The dog does not know it came from me. So why do we do that? We do that for one reason. When he is searching the car and this dog gets on the trunk of the car, we're not going to be able to get a search warrant. So while that dog digging on the trunk of the car, so you understand, so the dog thinks the toy came out. While that dog is digging on the trunk of the car, he throws the toy out of his back pocket and he praises the dog. The dog now is focused on that trunk. He pulls the dog back and reaches in there. He has nothing. He turns around and throws nothing down to what's there. So everyone understand that? So we're going to do the same thing here.
The second time he comes up toward me, I strike the officer for watching out the dog and squash. So I can move my arm, I can do all this, and it shouldn't be enough. The second I do trained every year. He has to certify in everything. He has to be able to recall the dog for a run. The dog has to be able to out. The handler's doing a great job.